When a woman experiences a connection that genuinely moves her, it rewires the way she sees relationships forever. It's not about one conversation, one date, or one emotional moment. It's about how consistently she felt around you. She felt understood without having to explain herself. She felt desired without being chased. She felt safe without feeling smothered. And once those emotions are registered, her mind stores them as the new standard. From that point on, every man she meets is unconsciously measured against how you made her feel, whether she wants that comparison to happen or not. This is why she can't fully let you go. Even when she tries, logic may tell her it's over, but her emotions don't reset just because she decides they should. Emotional memory is powerful. It's tied to how her nervous system responded to you: calm, excited, open, feminine. Those sensations don't disappear simply because the relationship ends. They linger and they resurface when something reminds her of you, or when she notices what's missing in the presence of someone new. She might go on dates with other men. She might smile, laugh, even enjoy the attention. But internally, there's a quiet comparison happening. Does he listen the way you did? Does he make her feel seen without trying too hard? Does she feel that same natural ease, that emotional safety mixed with excitement? And when the answer is no, and most of the time it is, the emotional contrast becomes impossible to ignore. The absence of what she once had becomes louder than the presence of what's in front of her. What makes this even stronger is that you didn't force this bond, you didn't over invest, over pursue, or try to lock her down emotionally. You allowed her to come to you at her own pace. That freedom created trust. That space allowed her feelings to grow organically, and because she chose the connection rather than being pressured into it, it rooted itself deeper in her emotional world. People value what they choose far more than what they're pushed into. When she looks back, she doesn't just remember moments, she remembers how natural it felt. There was no performance, no anxiety, no emotional chaos, just a steady sense that things flowed. That kind of experience becomes rare once it's lost because most connections are built on insecurity, neediness, or emotional games. When she realizes how uncommon what she had with you truly was, the attachment strengthens instead of fading. She may tell herself that time will fix everything, that she just needs distance, that eventually the feelings will die down. But emotional standards don't lower over time, they sharpen. With each disappointing interaction, her mind returns to the benchmark you set, and the more she compares, the clearer it becomes that letting go of you would mean settling for less than what she now knows is possible. That's why she can walk away physically but remain connected emotionally. You became the reference point, the emotional blueprint, and once that's established, it can't be erased, only remembered. When you step back and stop chasing, when you stop over explaining and stop trying to control the outcome, something powerful begins to happen that most men don't even realize. Absence speaks louder than presence, and in the space you leave behind, her emotions start to surface in ways she can't control. She may act busy, she may date others, she may even tell herself she's fine without you, but inside there's a growing echo of what she's lost. That echo is louder than any words, louder than any attempt to move on, because it's not based on logic, it's based on feeling. And feelings are stubborn. They don't disappear when someone decides they should. When a woman senses that you are no longer emotionally available in the way she's used to, her mind starts filling in the gaps. She remembers the moments when you made her laugh, when you listened without judgment, when you made her feel alive and feminine. Those memories begin to play in her mind, not as a conscious choice, but automatically. The human brain hates unfinished emotional loops, and your absence creates the perfect loop that keeps returning to her. Every time she's alone, every time she experiences a moment of boredom, or even a small disappointment with someone else, her thoughts drift to you. That's the power of absence. It forces her emotional system to confront what she's missing without you having to say a single word. This doesn't mean she's planning it or even aware of it consciously. Often she'll deny the feelings, rationalize them, or distract herself. But the mind and heart have a way of working quietly against what the conscious self wants. And when the contrast becomes undeniable, when she notices other men falling short, or when she senses that she can't recreate the comfort and excitement she had with you, the pull becomes irresistible. Your absence doesn't just remind her of you, it reminds her of the standard you set, the emotional space you created that no one else has replicated. The beauty of this is that it's not manipulative, it's natural. You don't have to chase, beg, or create drama to make her feel your value. By simply being consistent in who you are and maintaining your own life, your presence in her mind grows even stronger in your physical absence. You've shown her what it's like to experience stability and emotional maturity without neediness, and that contrast becomes impossible for her to ignore. Even if she tries to convince herself otherwise, part of her will always feel the void that only you can fill. Every text she doesn't send, every attempt she makes to move on, only feeds the echo. It's a natural process of attachment. The mind loops back to what it values most, especially when it's missing. And when you combine that absence with the memory of emotional connection, laughter, respect, and mutual attraction, it creates a magnetic force that pulls her closer emotionally. Even if she's resisting physically or mentally, she may not admit it, she may even fight it, but deep down she feels it. That emotional pull is undeniable, and it grows stronger the more you resist giving in to the need for validation or chasing her attention. Your absence isn't emptiness, it's a signal. It tells her that she doesn't control your world, that your time and energy are valuable, and that she must confront her own feelings honestly. And it's in that confrontation, in that echo of what she can't replace, that she begins to realize she can't truly let you go. What makes a woman unable to let you go, even when she tries, isn't just attraction, it's the way you balance connection with independence, closeness with boundaries, and desire with self respect. She can feel it instinctively. You never made her the center of your world, yet you were fully present when you were with her. You didn't over pursue, over text, or over analyze every little interaction, and that lack of neediness allowed her emotions to grow naturally without pressure. She experienced a man who had his own life, his own purpose, and his own direction, yet could make her feel truly valued and desired in every moment you shared. That balance is rare, and once she feels it, it becomes impossible to ignore. She can try to walk away, and she may even convince herself that she's done or that she needs to move on, but the truth is that the connection you built wasn't built on drama or coercion. It was built on trust, mutual respect, and the excitement of knowing that being with you was a choice, not a given. That sense of freedom creates the strongest form of attachment because it taps into her deepest emotional wiring. She knows she wanted to be with you, not because she had to, but because she chose to. And the power of choice makes the memory of that connection stick far deeper than anything forced or needy ever could. Part of why she can't let you go is because you allowed her to feel safe while still feeling challenged. You didn't flatten your energy to accommodate her emotions, but neither did you dismiss her. You met her halfway, creating a space where she could be herself fully, where she could express her desires, her doubts, and her feelings without fear of judgment or rejection. That combination of safety and emotional intensity is addictive. It's not just about being wanted, it's about being seen and appreciated for who she is. And that sense of validation without losing yourself is unforgettable. Another key element is that you never competed with her emotions or tried to manipulate her reactions. You let her feel what she felt, allowed her to process her own emotions, and maintained your own composure throughout. That emotional restraint doesn't make you cold, it makes you stable, predictable in the best way, and incredibly attractive. She experienced a man who could hold his ground, who could remain strong and centered, while still connecting deeply, and that combination creates a magnetic pull she can't simply switch off. Even when her mind tries to rationalize leaving, her emotions keep pulling her back to what felt real, balanced, and genuine. She also recognizes, consciously or subconsciously, that your presence elevated her experience of herself. She felt feminine, alive, and emotionally expansive around you because you didn't demand or control her energy. You allowed her to express her emotions, to shine, to laugh, to feel desired, all without losing your own center. That dynamic is powerful because it creates an emotional dependency that isn't based on neediness, but on choice and authenticity. It's the kind of attachment that stays long after the superficial excitement fades because it's rooted in the way you made her feel about herself and the relationship, not just about you. Ultimately, she can't let you go because you triggered the strongest form of attraction, one rooted in respect, freedom, and emotional fulfillment. She's drawn not just to you, but to the experience of being with you, the emotional clarity, the excitement, and the balance you brought into her life. And that connection, once established, doesn't vanish easily. It lingers, pulling her back even when she believes she's ready to move on. Even when a woman convinces herself that leaving was the right decision, and even when she lists She lists reasons, creates justifications, or talks herself into moving on. Emotions have a way of overriding logic. Feelings don't adhere to schedules or rational explanations. They operate independently of what she tells herself she should do. That's why she can try to walk away and even act like she's moved on. But deep down, the bond you created continues to influence her thoughts, her moods, and her decisions. Logic is limited, but the emotional connection you built is not. It has a momentum of its own, and it keeps resurfacing when she least expects it. She may tell herself that she's done, that she needs space, or that she's ready to explore other options. She may even go so far as to explain her reasons to friends or family, convincing herself it's the right choice. But the stronger the emotional connection she had with you, the harder it becomes to suppress what she truly feels. Even rational explanations, it won't work. I need to focus on myself, or I deserve better. Can't erase the experiences she shared with you, the way you made her feel, or the sense of emotional fulfillment she experienced in your presence. Her feelings operate on a different plane, independent of her conscious reasoning, and that makes her attempts to let go inherently incomplete. When a woman feels a strong bond with a man who treated her with respect, showed emotional strength, and maintained his own life while still being connected to her, her emotions don't fade just because her mind says it should. In fact, attempts to rationalize leaving often make the emotions more pronounced. Every time she recalls the moments of laughter, connection, and intimacy, she's reminded that what she had with you was rare and unmatched. The mind may argue, but the heart remembers, and those memories become the framework through which she evaluates everything else. No one else can replace the feelings she experienced with you, because those feelings weren't just about you, they were about the way she felt being herself in your presence, fully alive, appreciated, and emotionally seen. Her struggle to move on isn't a sign of weakness, it's a reflection of the depth of the connection. Emotional bonds are not easily broken, especially when they were built on authenticity, trust, and mutual attraction. The stronger and more balanced the connection, the more persistent the emotional pull. Even when she consciously tries to analyze the separation, her subconscious keeps replaying your interactions, the security she felt, the excitement she experienced, and the emotional clarity you provided. It's impossible for her logic to fully suppress the emotional memory, and over time, that unresolved tension becomes an invisible thread pulling her back. Additionally, the way you manage the relationship by maintaining boundaries, staying confident, and not over investing ensures that her feelings were never diluted by drama or desperation. That emotional clarity combined with her attachment creates a persistent connection that cannot be easily dismissed. Even when she tells herself she's moved on, deep down she's constantly evaluating whether the alternative experiences measure up to what she had with you. And inevitably, they don't, because what you offered wasn't just a relationship, it was an emotional standard she can't replicate with anyone else. Her logic may fight, but her emotions are stronger. That tension between thought and feeling is why she can't fully let you go, even if she tries, and why your absence continues to have a profound impact on her, pulling her back toward what she truly knows was exceptional. What a woman truly misses when she tries to let you go isn't just you, it's the verse she became when she was with you. She felt alive, confident, feminine, and fully in her own power because of the way you interacted with her, the way you treated her, and the way you held yourself. You didn't smother her with neediness, and you didn't chase validation. Instead, you created an environment where she could fully express her femininity, feel desired, and experience emotional safety all at once. That combination is rare, and once she experiences it, she subconsciously associates that version of herself with you. Letting you go would mean letting go of the person she became in your presence, and that's something she can't do easily. Every laugh, every moment of playful connection, every time she felt understood and appreciated, reinforced that version of herself. She wasn't just reacting to you, she was growing, exploring, and thriving emotionally because of the dynamic between the two of you. She may try to distract herself. She may tell herself she's over it, or she may even date other men, but those experiences rarely evoke the same feelings. Other men may try to impress her, but they can't recreate the emotional landscape you built, the space where she felt both safe and energized, confident yet desired. That imbalance creates a void, a reminder of what she had with you and why no substitute feels the same. This is why absence magnifies the pull. When she's away from you, She's not just missing your presence, she's missing herself in that moment of connection. She remembers the woman she was with you, the laughter, the ease, the sense of being truly seen and valued. That memory becomes a silent benchmark, a standard that no one else can reach, because it wasn't just about you, it was about the chemistry of her being fully alive with you. Every attempt to move on feels like settling, because nothing else compares to the emotional clarity, excitement, and fulfillment she experienced in your presence. What makes this even stronger is that you never forced her into that version of herself. You didn't demand that she act a certain way or perform to gain your attention. You gave her space to be authentic, and in doing so, she experienced a form of liberation that's rare in most relationships. The freedom to be herself fully, combined with the emotional validation you provided, created a bond that goes beyond simple attraction. It becomes a deep imprint on her psyche. It's an emotional memory she carries with her, even if she pretends she doesn't. She may rationalize her decision to move on, creating reasons, excuses, or logical explanations for why the connection ended. But those reasons can't erase the emotional truth. Being with you elevated her sense of self in a way she hasn't been able to replicate. She may try other relationships, but the version of herself she felt when she was with you keeps resurfacing. That is why she can't fully let you go, even if she tries. The emotional standard you set and the self awareness she experienced while being with you remains unmatched. Ultimately, she is drawn back not just to you, but to the emotional and personal evolution she felt in your presence. And that is a pull that no amount of distance or logic can erase. Even when a woman walks away, the connection you shared with her rarely disappears completely. Emotional bonds don't simply vanish, they linger, quietly waiting for unresolved tension to surface. What makes it so powerful is that the connection was never fully closed, it was only suppressed. You didn't create drama, beg for attention, or overact her decisions. You maintained your composure, held your boundaries, and continued living your life with purpose. That absence of emotional chaos leaves her without closure, and without closure, the human mind has a way of keeping the connection alive. It revisits, reflects, and compares even when she tries to convince herself that it's over. When she attempts to move on, she may distract herself with other men, work, or social activities. She may even convince herself that she no longer feels what she felt with you. But emotionally, the loop hasn't been completed. Her mind keeps returning to the experiences she had with you, the way you made her feel safe, understood, desired, and alive all at once. It's in the contrast between those emotions and her current experiences that she begins to realize just how rare the connection with you truly was. No matter how hard she tries, she can't replicate it, and that lack of replacement makes the bond feel even stronger. The fact that you didn't over invest or create unnecessary drama is what makes the loop so persistent. Most relationships fade because they are built on chaos, needness, or emotional manipulation. But you didn't give her that. You remained steady, consistent, and confident, which created a stable emotional imprint that she can't ignore. The absence of manipulation combined with the presence of emotional authenticity ensures that the connection remains alive in her subconscious. Even when she attempts to suppress it consciously, her emotions remember the stability, excitement, and fulfillment she experienced with you, and they keep pulling her back. Another reason she can't fully let go is that your relationship allowed her to feel deeply without feeling controlled. She was free to express herself, explore her emotions, and embrace her femininity, but you never overstepped or tried to dominate her feelings. That balance of freedom and emotional intimacy created a bond that is difficult to break because it wasn't based on external factors like gifts, attention, or superficial affection. It was internal and emotional, tied to her sense of self and her experience of life in your presence. Once a woman experiences that, she doesn't easily forget it, and attempts to leave are often met with an unconscious pullback toward what felt real. Even when she consciously tries to convince herself that the relationship is over, the absence of closure keeps the connection active. Memories replay in her mind the laughter, the deep conversations, the way she felt seen and appreciated. Each memory reinforces the emotional bond, making it harder for her to move on completely. The lack of dramatic endings or emotional explosions means there's no finality, and her subconscious is left to fill in the blanks. That process keeps the connection alive, quietly persistent, and impossible to erase completely. Ultimately, the connection you created with her was never fully resolved, was only temporarily paused. The balance of emotional depth, stability, freedom, And attraction ensures that even when she tries to walk away, she remains drawn back. That is why, despite her best efforts, she can't truly let you go.